Welcome to a MercyTiara kit recap video. In this video, I'm going to show you what I created with the Brighter Days kit and also what I have left over and some of the ideas that I have for how I might use my leftovers. There's a playlist linked right up here that shows my unboxing and all of the process videos that I created using this kit. So make sure that you check that out if you want to see more details about any of these pages. I actually was not expecting to get this many layouts out of this kit, and the verdict is in, and I totally killed this kit. There are some leftovers and I could make some more, but when I think about killing a kit, I think, like, is it used to the point that I feel like I got the value out of the price of the kit? And I feel like I definitely got my value this month, so I'm very pleased with that. There will be some months when I don't, because I do design these kits, so I have to kind of move on. Sometimes if I have a particularly busy month, I might not get many layouts created with this kit, but I want to show you what I've been making with it, and also encourage you to check out our social media accounts, because other people have also been making lots of amazing pages with this kit, and I am just stunned by how many different kinds of layouts people can get with these kits. So make sure that you follow us. We are MercyTiara Kits over on Instagram. We're there on Facebook as well. And I would really suggest that you join our Facebook group as well, which is MercyTiara Kit Club, if you search for that over on Facebook. So I'm going to start by just showing you what I made. So I thought I was going to get maybe 5 or 6 layouts, but I ended up getting quite a bit more, just because of time. So this first page is a 1.5, and I never did go back and make another half page to fill in what will be the back side of this. So I'm going to slide this into a 6 by 12 inch page protector, and it will be like this, but I will need something to be on the back side of this. Now, you don't have to put a layout here. You could put a pretty piece of paper. You could even leave it as it is. You could put some extra journaling. So there is some journaling on this layout, but you could put even more right here on the back side of it if you wanted to. But I do like filling up my page protectors with layouts, so I probably will create another standalone 6 by 12 inch layout that I can just put here, and I'll probably make that with the Summer Vibes kit. So this one is called Home is So Much More Than a House. It is on my channel, and you should be able to find it there pretty easily. What I really love about this one was it gave me a chance to use the foam letter stickers that came in the kit. I adore those. And then the other thing is that it allowed me to use all kinds of these beautiful chipboard pieces that I might not have otherwise gotten a chance to use. I really love these, and they look beautiful with the kit and with the titles and with some of the embellishments. And using them is my main goal here. So I don't want to kind of hang on to them and wait for the perfect time to use them. So because this one was about home and what a sense of home means to us, I wanted to put lots of symbols that are indicative of that. It was really fun to put these on in, it's almost like a gallery kind of a way. Next, these might not be in the exact order, but I tried to keep them in order. So the next one I might have made, or soon after that one, I made this one called The Best Day. This just uses the title from the set of stickers that came in the kit. These are the ones right here. And with this one, I cut this chunky border out of this camera paper. I really love this camera paper. It's one of my favorite things in the kit. And so I wanted to really have that be the highlight on one of my layouts. So this is the one that I did that with. I did some matting and some outlining, and I made my journaling follow that border. And that was a really fun way to do that. I often will make my journaling follow the lines on my page. It's one of my favorite things to do. So this one was really fun, and there is a process video in that playlist that I linked up above. Then this is the layout that I made using the Facebook Kit Club sketch challenge. And this is a sketch by the amazingly talented Christine Davidson. I'll give you her information right here. This is her most recent book, Just Sketches. This one is just sketches. It's 100 of them, so it's a great book. This one is not from that book. This is from one of her other books. What we do is we run a challenge where every month anybody who participates in this sketch challenge could win a prize. And so this was my interpretation of that sketch. It's called Good Stuff. And this is also in that playlist, the process video for this one. It's really fun to make. So if you're over there and you're working on this challenge, make sure that you get your entry in soon because today's the 9th and the contest closes the 15th. So I do the drawing on the 15th, which means that you really have to have your layout in by the 14th because I get up super early and I could make that draw very early on the 15th. This one was just fun with layers and I followed the sketch fairly closely. It gave me a chance to document this really nice photo of my daughter down in our craft room, and it does a few things at once. It kind of emphasizes things like the fact that we have a warehouse, which it's not really a warehouse, it's just a room in our house. It kind of like, I love when my albums start to reflect changes and shifts in our life. And so you'll probably see a couple of different layouts. I know I made a couple with the kit before this that showed my sister-in-law in this same room, and here's Liv in this room. And so when you look through my albums, you'll get a sense of how our lives were changing as we went without me having to say, this is the day that we did our warehouse. So this is not necessarily a layout about the fact that we have a kit club, but incorporates this change in our life into the page without being super obvious. I could easily just make a layout about having a warehouse or having a kit club, but I decided to kind of do it this way. This one really went to town with the embellishments, and that was kind of the theme for this one, was just let's just slap everything that I love on here. And it fit with my theme, which was to be kind of like true to yourself, like whatever quirky things you like. And so I really wanted to just kind of put all of my favorite embellishments from this kit all over this layout, and I love how it looks. And it definitely has a really messy, flea markety, cluttered kind of a feel, which is exactly what I was looking for. But when I did that, I made sure that I kept some strong elements of structure here. So we have this really bold matting. So I've double matted this, which allowed me to have this fairly strong navy blue element that just kind of like holds it together and brings a little bit of orderliness to this otherwise chaotic page. Then we had what I thought was going to be my second last layout with this page, or with this kit, and this is called Brighter Days, the layout, not Brighter Days, the kit. And so this one incorporates the cut file from the kit as well as the icon cut. So every month there is a background cut file and also an icon cut file that includes some words and shapes and phrases. And so this one had this amazing title. I did some mixed media on the background, as you can see, and I just really love this layout. It was so much fun to make, and I really like the look of it, and I love how different it is from everything else that I usually create. Next, I have a series of layouts that were all created during a live stream, and so some of these videos are already in that playlist, but some of them are coming up in the next 1 or 2 or 3 days. So this first one is called Prom, and it shows my daughter and her best friend here in the public gardens. And I really wanted to play up on the coloring in their dresses. So we have this beautiful soft purple in Sophia's dress, and then this beautiful turquoise in my daughter's dress. And so I found mists that matched both of those. And then I used the paper smooshing technique to apply that mist to my background white cardstock. And then I used more of those cut files that came with the main kit, and I just placed them in here. And I also fussy cut some of the specialty gold foil paper. And what that did was it helped to cover up, because there was actually a lot more ink on this page than what I really wanted. And so using these bigger pieces that are solid helped me to cover up some of that so that it had a bit more of a toned down look to it. So this one is Prom, and it's sort of like a bit of a fancier take on Prom. And then this one is called Post-Prom Party. And I wanted this one to be more fun feeling because the prom was over at midnight. They came home, changed their clothes. They both got into their jeans and sweatshirts, and they both are going to the same university next year. So they're super psyched about that. I did color these letter stickers with some permanent marker because I didn't have any in purple, and I really wanted to have this tone-on-tone look with the yellow letters on the yellow part of the background and the purple letters on the purple part of the background, and then party right here. So this one was really fun. I did some machine sewing, and then I also did a lot of, like, I distressed these edges and really pulled them up. But other than that, it's a pretty simple layout, and I think it has a really fun feel. And then we have the morning after the prom. So this is like the third in a 3-part series of prom, post-prom party, and then the morning after, which this layout I specifically made pretty ratty and worn out looking because she probably felt worn out. The party ended at 5 a.m. and she was pretty sleepy because she had a really busy day getting ready for prom, and then all the excitement of prom, and then the post-prom party, and then she went for a little snooze at her friend's house, and then she rolled in with Starbucks in hand at about 11 or noon or so, sometime around midday. So there she is, looking tired and saying, "You're not seriously taking my picture right now, are you?" This one is called Yes Please, and I just wanted to document Liv and her date, which is her boyfriend. She's been dating him for a number of years now. And so I didn't want to forget poor Noah in all of my photos. So this one shows her putting his boutonniere on and the two of them posing in front of the gazebo at the public gardens. And for this one, from a design perspective, I wanted to really emphasize the fade on this background paper. And so I made all of my greener embellishments over here and then all of my bluer embellishments over here and just kind of like went with that fade look. It was really fun to do that. I think it's a subtle effect, but I do really like it. I know it's there, and I think it's fun when I see it. Then prom was also an important day for our international student Annabelle. Although she wasn't graduating, in our school region, all of the international students are always invited to prom, whether they're graduating or not, because many of them come from countries that don't really do a prom the way that North Americans do. And so this is Annabelle with her best friend Bailey, or a good friend Bailey. And so with this one, I did use cardstock from my stash, but the rest of this is all from the kit. And I think it's really remarkable that this layout looks so different from the other ones, but yet it's still made with the same kit. So I love that about kits, how as opposed to when you're using a collection, it's very much the same feel in your album. And I have that in my albums when I've been using collections. So I really love the variety that this gives me. And then just when I thought I was done with my kit, I decided to take all of my scraps and create a project life spread. So this is also on my channel, although this will probably be the last thing posted. So if you're watching this on July 9th when I'm posting it, you will not probably have access to this process video, but my Patreons would have already seen the real time of this. So I do film my real time processes for my Patreons. And this one was a lot of fun to make. And it gave me a chance to use some of my stamps that are in my stash. And also, just like I said, use up all of the scraps that I had left over for the kit. So I did a little bit of journaling around the shape. This shape was just dying for journaling around it. It's so bold. And then she's holding her hands there. I just had to put a stamp in her hands. So the pattern paper this is all from the kit, just leftover pattern papers from the kits. This is pattern paper from the kit. One thing that isn't from the kit is I do have a bunch of Tim Holtz words on hand that I always use for Project Life. And the labels and all of the embellishments, everything is from the kit, but the stamps are not. Our kit club does not offer stamps at this point, but stamps are coming. So So this is the first half of this spread. Now the other side is from my last Project Life process video, so that did not use the kit, but this is the first side of that layout. And then we have the second side of that layout, which is right here. And again, we have the pattern papers from the kits and embellishments from the kits, different stickers from Pink Fresh Studio, those adorable labels from Paige Evans. I did use a flippity flap, and now this is not from the kit. This is cardstock from my stash that I have. I have a bunch of 6x8 pieces of cardstock that I keep on hand. This one is from Paper Person's Project Life kit. So, and I like using those for flippity flaps because it's really solid, heavy cardstock, and it's usually pretty generic on one side, so you can use it as a pretty plain background for journaling on as well. So that is that. And then I had more photos than I had pockets. So I did do an insert for this month, and that also used the kit. So I just stapled some bus transits together and tucked them in here. I did glue them in place so they wouldn't be like moving around a lot. I put a Dalhousie sticker on here because I had it on hand. It was just a piece of ephemera that I wanted to use. So I thought it worked well there because it's the same color as the bus tickets, and it just kind of makes it less boring. Like, we all know what bus tickets look like. If you really wanted to see them, you could kind of pull it out. And then this is a photo of that. So all of these photos are from that day. I did my journaling here on the photo and just added some photos and some stickers. And then on the other side, this is all of our Easter photos. So we have a picture of them at home, and then us in the car on the way to New Glasgow, and then a little game we were playing in New Glasgow. It was just like a spontaneous game of catch that we started playing randomly as we were chatting in the living room. And I love capturing these kinds of moments in my Project Life. This is what Project Life is all about, spontaneous moments of catching this weird ball that gets different sizes. And it's also all about things like the embarrassing photo of my husband on the wall at his parents' house. We love photos that include that. That's what I made with this kit. I'm just going to quickly put these all back in my tray because I'm going to put them in my album now so that I can start working on the next kit, which is the Summer Vibes kit, which I get to have a little bit ahead of time. So I'm going to start working on it tomorrow. But I want to show you my leftovers. So I so rarely use up all of something that I just had to hang on to this packaging to just revel in the moment of having used up something. This is what our scrapbooking supplies are meant to be. This is their destiny, is to be all in my album and waiting to be enjoyed by the next person who looks at my album. So these Simple Story chipboard stickers are done. No need to figure out how to store them. I have lots of these left over. These are the title foam stickers from the flea market collection from Simple Stories. These were so much fun to use, and I did use lots of them, but there's just so many in the pack that I couldn't possibly use them all. I think if I had gone thrift shopping, I might have been able to get this flea market one or maybe use this vintage one, but we just didn't do that this time. So I'm just going to hang on to this, and I will use these because I adore these. And so we're just going to put them over here. And I love that I still have some of these floral stickers as well that would coordinate quite nicely with any of these titles. So this is the Brighter Days confetti mix. This is an exclusive to the kit. And these confetti mixes, we do still have some available that you can buy separately. And so if you're buying a kit next month and you missed out on these, because these came in the add-on, if you missed out on these and want them, they're beautiful. They have this beautiful chartreuse color of green in them, as well as navy and like an oceany blue and a very, very, very pale pink that almost reads as a white or a clear. It's really pretty. I use these and I still have tons left, like, because I use them more as splatter. So I just kind of place them almost like you'd place enamel dots. And so because I use them freely, but still sparingly, I have plenty left. I could even make a little shaker card with this if I wanted to. I'm just going to hang on to it though, because I might use it again in the future for splatter. I have a fair amount of enamel dots left, which is kind of normal for me. I'm not a big user of enamel dots, but I do like to use them, and I actually use more than what I typically would. So I'm pretty pleased with that. We have these ones left over. And the way that I store my enamel dots is, so I tried storing my enamel dots a number of different ways, including in these little books that I store other things in. So I have these little booklets that I keep things like alpha dies, word stickers. I keep labels in them too. And I really wanted to store my enamel dots in those. The problem is that enamel dots have so much dimension that those books end up not laying flat. Like, I like these books to be able to be stored like this, but once you put enamel dots in them, they end up being stored like this. Like, they just take up way too much space. And so what I did was it's actually the same brand, and you can get these on Amazon. What I did was I got this album, which was filled with these black pages. And what I did was I took out half of the black pages, and I'll take out more as I fill this up, if I ever fill this up. But that way I took out enough of these that after I filled up, there's about 10 pages in here, but I wanted the album itself to lie flat, or to stand flat like that. It's got a little bit of spring to it, but it's mostly holds itself, right? So what I do is I have a video on my channel, which I will link in the information section above, or actually I'll put it in a card right here. And I sorted them by color, which was a big task, but now that they're all sorted by color, they're really easy to use. If I know I need a little blue enamel dot, I just navigate to my blue pages. And I do have a couple in the back that I didn't sort by color just because they work well together and I want to keep them as a set. So, certain ones kind of have a feel and I didn't want to interrupt that. But what I'll probably do is cut these into strips, and then, well, not probably, I will definitely do that. Cut these into strips and then just glue the strips using just regular scrapbooking adhesive. This is Tombow permanent tape runner. Love this stuff. And I will put these sorted by color. I do have 2 rolls of washi. So the embellishment add-on did come with 2 rolls of washi, and they're different rolls depending on, you randomly got 1 thin and 1 wide. These are the 2 that I got. I did use this a few times, and I might have used this once or twice. I'm not a huge washi tape user, but I did use this washi tape, so that is good. And this will just go into my washi tape stash. Although a part of me is thinking that I might want to keep some of these things together, just because we are planning on going kind of like garage sailing, and so I might want to just keep a subset. Maybe I might keep my leftovers together for a little bit longer before I break them up. I don't know. I'll let you know what I end up doing with that. So these are the die cuts that came in the kit, and I used a lot of them, surprisingly. Usually I've got almost a whole pack of this sort of thing left, but I've only got a few here. That's all that's left. So they were very usable. Then as far as these vellum pieces go, there's plenty of these left. These are beautiful, so I'll definitely use these on another upcoming page. I have this many of the chipboard flare left. And these are very usable, so I'll definitely use those in the coming weeks. For the letter stickers, I really made a lot of titles with these letter stickers. And so I have some I's, but I don't have any A's or E's or O's or even G's to make the O's with. I even used up some G's making extra O's. But I think that this letter sticker set is pretty much killed. Now, my daughter's name is Liv, and I do have the letters to spell Liv. I also have the letters to spell kit. And I was thinking about doing a layout about a kit club, so I might hang on to those and use those for that. Well, I will hang on to them, but they're pretty close to being ready to part with. Pretty close. Then these delightful Pink Fresh Studio stickers. I put a fair chunk in those. I'm going to keep them, of course, because there's lots of beautiful ones left over, but I got good use out of them. The cut files that you get with the main kit, you can keep forever. I didn't get a chance to use this rainbow yet, so I could see myself using that. These flowers are super usable, and they even have like they look like they could even be Christmassy, right? Like they look a little bit like a poinsettia, so I might pull this one out again and use it at Christmas time in particular. Then this is the sticker sheet. I did use quite a few stickers off of this, but there's plenty left. And then as far as full pieces of paper go, I have 3. So I have 1 piece of this, and I got the extra pattern paper add-on. So I had 2 of each of 12 pieces of paper, and this is all I have left out of those 24 sheets. I have 2 of this, which surprises me because I love this paper. Why did I not use it? But I'm going yard sailing, so I still might use this. And if I do, I will let you know. And then this, which I think that the golden color in these moths really works well with this. So these might even make their way onto whatever layout I make with that. But the back side of this is this beautiful stripe. So I've got 3 full pieces of paper out of the 24 left. I have some fair-sized chunks of this, which I think I could kind of take to the couch with me when I'm watching TV someday and just cut all these out and put them in a little Ziploc baggie and use them as die cuts on a future page. This one I might keep as a chunk because it's nice, clean cut square. Then I have lots of these cameras. Then we have some scraps. What I plan to do with all of these labels, especially the ones that are intact, so complete labels, I will cut all of these up and put them in a little Ziploc baggie and use them on future layouts because I love these. And then as you can see, just a fairly small amount of leftovers. These are cards that I pre-cut for Project Life, but I didn't end up using. So these could find their way into a future Project Life layout if they don't end up on one of those, on that extra last layout that I talked about potentially making after I go yard sailing. Because I have that one more layout coming up, I'm just going to hang on to these little scraps just in case I need them. And what I'll do with these this time is I will put them back in the kit bag. Now Shannon, she's so crafty on Instagram and YouTube, she loves the thickness of these bags, and I do too. I didn't actually mean to buy bags so thick. I didn't know what, like 3 mil, 4 mil, 2 mil. I didn't know what that would be, and I had to order a lot of them. So we have a lot of these bags, and these bags are going to keep on coming for the next foreseeable future. And I do like it is easier kitting things when you don't have to worry about this seam breaking when you're kind of like opening up this seal to put stuff in it. So we might just keep on using these bags because we're getting good feedback about it. But one of the nice things about your kit coming with such a heavy duty bag is that you can then use this to store things in. So I'm going to just stick this kit in here, but you could put a collection pack in here. You could use it for your kid's bathing suit to put in so that the bathing suit doesn't get the rest of their backpack wet, because it is a really good zipper seal and it is a heavier duty plastic than what you're probably used to getting in your kits. So that's a good thing. The other thing that you could do is you could cut off the zipper part and then store this vertically. That's what I do with a lot of my collection packs, is I just kind of get rid of this part so that I can just pull it out, and it just makes it easier for me to, as I'm browsing my little shelf with all my vertically lined up collections, I can see what I have pretty easily if this is open, so I can kind of leaf through it and see, oh right, that's that collection with that paper, and then I can pull it out. So I will encourage you to reuse these. That's it from me for this month, and I will try to do another one of these next month and every month so that you can see what I'm doing with the kits. I won't always be as productive as I was this month. With these leftovers, I could do a few more Project Life layouts. I could make some cards. As I said, I have an idea for a layout or two that I might do with this, so I'm just going to hang on to it. But otherwise, I might be putting it all back into my stash. So thanks so much for watching. Have a really great scrappy week, and keep an eye out for the Summer Vibes kit because it is coming up soon.